Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll be going over one of the three main types of energy sources that are present within the Doomverse. I'll be discussing the history and the significance, such as the origins of these energies, how they are made, and most importantly, what are they used for. So without further delay, let's begin. So, in the Doomverse, there are actually quite a lot of energy sources, some that are magical in nature, while others are scientific. But I'll be focusing on the three main energy sources, and they are as follows. So first of all, we have Wraith Energy, which is also known as Sentinel Energy, but I don't think they are the same, and I'll be discussing why that is in this video. Then we have Essence of Hell, or Soul Energy, which will be in its own video. And finally, we have Argent Energy, which has quite a lot of variations, and I will be discussing all of that in its own separate video. So, to start, we have Wraith Energy. As you can guess from the name, the energy originates from an extremely ancient and elemental creatures known as the Elemental Wraiths, who were the first beings that ever came into existence on the planet of Argent Dinur. This happened well before the people of Argenta even existed. In fact, it was these elemental wraiths that gave birth to the people of Argenta. If you want to learn more about their history, I would suggest you check out my video, the link is in the description. Just to summarize though, the wraiths, as I said, were the first beings that ever came into existence. But they were also infused with an incredible power. This was known as the Wraith Call. With this ability, they were able to bring forth life on the planet. The first beings that came into existence because of the Wraith Call were known as the Ancestrals. These were massive, feral titans that would wage war upon each other, killing each other and being rebirthed over and over. After potentially eons of life and death, the first of the Argenta would rise, given form by the magic of the Elemental Wraiths. Eventually, the Argenta would build their civilization to the point where they would be able to defeat the Ancestrals and claim dominion over the planet. The Argenta would come to worship these wraiths as their gods. The wraiths would willingly bestow wraith energy upon the people of Argenta, so that they may raise their civilizations from the dirt, allowing them to create massive cities, temples, and infrastructure. This mutual exchange would bring about the creation of the Night Sentinels with only one goal: to protect themselves and their new gods from any potential danger, even from the very gods they served. Now, with the origins of Wraith Energy covered, I'll be discussing the characteristics of this energy source. Now, we don't know what the color of Wraith Energy is. Some people have speculated that the color of this energy is red, because that is what is shown at the end of Doom 2016. But to confirm, that was Argent Energy, not Wraith Energy. I will go in depth about Argent Energy in its own video. But how does Wraith Energy work? Well, we don't exactly know how it works, but we do know that it is magical in nature. My theory is that Wraith Energy works similar to solar energy, in that it would require the people of Argenta to build devices to absorb and store Wraith Energy, and then convert it into usable energy, which they would come to call Sentinel Energy. This would be the same way that we humans harness the power of the sun and convert it into DC or AC current. Then we simply plug in the device into the power socket and there we go. Usable energy straight from the sun. We can also confirm this by looking at the Sentinel batteries and power cores that we encounter throughout the game, because they are used to power up the Fortress of Doom and to open up more areas for the Slayer to access. Now, speaking of Sentinel energy, in Doom Eternal it is shown to have an aqua blue color, and in some areas it appears to have a color close to cerulean. The lightning sparks that are visible on Argent Dinur, such as the city of Exultia or Taras Nabad, has a distinct cerulean color. So as you can guess, that there are quite a lot of inconsistencies which have never really been addressed. But for the sake of continuity and originality, I'm going to assume that the original color of Sentinel energy, and again I said Sentinel not Wraith, is going to be cerulean instead of aqua blue. And this will become more apparent when I discuss Argent energy. But also, because Soul energy, the one that we find in Necrovol Part 2, has a blue tint to it. Therefore, it would be better to differentiate between the two. Now for the main question, what are these energies used for? Well, we know that Wraith energy is magical in nature, and it provides beings with biological augmentation, potentially increasing their strength, their speed, and in this case, the size as well. We can confirm this by looking at the Codex entry, which states as follows. First came the Ancestrals, feral creatures invigorated by the magic of the Wraiths. They grew to enormous heights, mighty behemoths who waged war with each other for years untold. Now, assuming my theory is correct, once Wraith energy is converted into Sentinel energy, it is then used up to power up massive machines, infrastructure, mechanical robots, and more. We can confirm this in-game by observing the color of the lights of Argenta technology, such as the Night Sentinel's armor and their weapons, like the spear in Sentinel Prime, and the fact that the Fortress of Doom was initially powered up with Sentinel energy. In all areas of the game where Sentinel energy is present, there has been no indication to show that it provides any sort of biological augmentation. So based on this, we can confirm that Sentinel energy does not provide any biological augmentation, only mechanical power, whereas Wraith energy, as proven via the Codex entry, does provide biological augmentation. Now, what is the significance of Sentinel energy, and why is it important to discuss this? Well, as we know by playing the game, Sentinel energy is half of what is required to create Argent energy, which as we know is the strongest energy source currently within the Doomverse. Secondly, when the Sentinels went up against the first demon invasion, while they did held their own quite well, eventually their machines and their power and their infrastructure would eventually fall due to the overwhelming numbers and the overwhelming power that comes with the essence of hell, or soul energy, which will be the topic that I will be discussing in the next lore video. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, subscribe, and comment on the video, because all of this helps out my channel with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I will see you in the next one.